Hello, my name is Candice, and today we're going to be exploring the world of celery juice in a small container. So you may be wondering, can I make celery juice with such a tiny little blender? Like, do I need to add water? Like, what do I need to do? So here I am to show you today. And you always want to go with an organic celery juice. Organic. This one is Bonapac. And here's a little tip for you. When you're in the market looking for your celery juice, you want to get something that's like thicker than this. Like if you get like a big old hunk of a guy, then you can take like a little bit more of it. And I call it like a bonus pack because then you have like this much celery that you can use, which is how much we're going to be using today to make about 2 cups. And then you take the rest of it and you set it aside. You wait till you have another big old bonus pack, and then you set some of that aside, and then you have a whole nother 2 cups from about the same amount of celery that you would buy regularly. So, first step is we're gonna wash our celery. I'm not gonna show you that because it's boring, but I mean, wash it really well. There's usually, let me show you. There's usually, within these little areas here, there's all kinds of little dirts and stuff. So I like to just chop off the end of it, like so. Check out those mad knife skills. So, you chop off the end of it, and then you can just kind of peel it apart. And I use the leaves and everything. So in the middle, you'll see there's going to be more leafy stuff going on. Don't throw those away. There's good polyphenols in there. I'm not going to go into what those are, but they're really good for you. You can do a quick Google search, or maybe I'll just add a page explaining that. But yeah, so we're gonna get these washed in. I'll be right back. Okay, so we're back with some washed celery. And what I like to do now is kind of like trim it up a little bit. Like I do wash these each individually, and then I put them in a stack and chip it all up because I don't like the extra water. I want just celery juice. So by the way, we are not adding water. Anyway, see these little ends right here? They're kind of like gross looking. I like to chop those off. There's other little pieces on the celery. I found one earlier. I like this. I usually kind of take that off as well. Just kind of, I don't throw away the whole celery. Why would you do that? You just kind of, cut it off to where it's like, don't need that. Anyway, so chop off the little imperfections because what those are gonna do is make your celery juice bitter. Nobody likes bitter celery juice. I'll say that much right now. Also, if your celery is going bad and it's all kind of mushy, maybe just throw it away because it's gonna make a really gross, bitter drink and you're gonna hate celery juice forever and it's not gonna be a pretty story. So, once you have most of the gross little parts chopped off, then chop it into little, just, take it down, get it into smaller pieces, that way the blender can do its job. There goes one. There's plenty of health benefits of celery juice, like way too many to name in a short video, but it helps decrease bloating, helps your digestive system, helps with constipation if you deal with that. Basically anything to do with your digestive system, it will help with that. I'm not a professional chef or anything, so I mean, these knife skills are just mad insane, I know, so don't make fun of me too much. Anyway, we are almost there. Also, another thing is, when you're cooking, you might want to remove some of these rings. And you can find some of these rings in my Etsy shop actually, like these two. Woo. Anyway, personal ad right there. So, so this is gonna go into the blender. So see, this is a small blender. And so on the bottom, you're not going to want the leafy stuff right there because it's just going to get thrown around and it's too dry. So I like to put some of the leafy stuff in first, and you're not going to get it all in this bunch. So I throw some of the leafy stuff in, Maybe not all of it, because once this does start to create moisture, everything's gonna blend up a lot more easily. But getting it started is the hardest part. So, I mean, some people do like to add a little bit of water, and I'm not gonna judge you. I just don't, because I don't want diluted celery juice. I like the full thing, you know? So, throw in some of the juicier looking chunks on the top. Alright. And then max fill's just a suggestion. You can twist this on, I think you're good. So this blender is a little bit old. You can see it's kind of powdery looking from all the celery juice that I've made. So we're gonna put this in here. And then I do pulse. Another pulse. And then when things aren't really moving, that is when I pick it up and I shake it. And put it back. You kind of just go through this until you have some liquid at the bottom, and then it all pretty much blends pretty easily. Salad chicken. Now I can just hit blend. Oh. Let's start. Now we have room for the rest of our celery. And if you have a bigger bunch, you could actually fit a lot more in here too. So, throw the rest in there. Oh, in it goes. Okay. Just give that a good blend. You just hit start because there's a bunch of liquid in there. So when it's all liquidy, that's pretty much when you can sort of put it in your nut milk bag, which this one's an unbleached one. You can see I've used it a lot from the kind of the greenish color that it has, if you can see that. But I just use one of these Pyrex cups, about 2 cups in there, but it does go over 2 cups, and sometimes so do I, so that's helpful. So you put that in there, and then, as you could probably guess, you pour in the liquid. And if you haven't used a nut milk bag before, I've seen a lot of people just say, oh, just twist it with it. But for some reason, to me, it's just not that simple. And I do, like, I don't like to waste anything. I like to stick my hand in there sometimes and just kind of scrape it out. Sometimes the best tools are your hands. I mean, if you have one of these things, that's nice too. But honestly, most of the time I just use my hand because it's just for me, and I do wash my hands. Don't you worry about that. This is basically just like a single serving of celery juice. So hopefully you're not trying to do celery juice for a whole family in this, because it's gonna be a little intense. We're gonna basically be doing this over and over again. So I do start by twisting, and then, you know, squeeze it out quite a bit, and a lot's gonna come out more at first. But once you start to get into those areas where not so much is coming out, I kind of just, this is a little bit messy. I end up usually squeezing the bottom and then squeezing the top back down. Kind of just trying to get the most liquid possible in the shortest amount of time. Which nut milk bags can be kind of time consuming, I guess. But I mean, it's like a meditation, right? You're squeezing your nut milk bag. It's fun. We love this. I do this most mornings.
So this is a great method if you don't have like one of those crazy high-powered blenders like the Vitamix or whatever other blender you can think of that's so high-powered. I personally don't have a Vitamix coming in the mail, so I'm just, enjoying these last moments of doing the shake and blend method with my Ninja here. I'm not gonna get rid of my Ninja. I still like it. But I want to make bliss balls and just things like that, just at high speed. So now once you got, there goes one, squeeze all over the place. You're usually not like slapping your camera and get distracted, and you can actually focus on getting the juice in the cup.
So from here, I just take this because you kind of like squeeze most of it out and it's not flinging around anywhere. Like you see the juices and just going. Anyway, I just wring it out from here. And then you get those last extra drops. So this is just a method of experimentation that I've come up with. The reason you don't want to just squeeze really hard towards the end is that I've noticed that sometimes like there's little seams right here. Whoop, there it goes. There's little seams right here in the nut milk bag, and if you just take all of your juice and just squeeze it really hard, then I've noticed that sometimes the little pulp just like squeezes through in a little stream, and that's not very appetizing. So there you have it. There's my tips and tricks on how to use a nut milk bag for celery juice, which those same tricks actually apply to making nut milks as well. And I'll make another video on nut milk. Milk on with non-milk. So here we have our totally not messy celery juice project. And now all you have to do is pour it in a nice glass. Whoop. And enjoy. Cheers. Exciting. So good. If you like this video, don't hesitate to thumbs up, subscribe, do all those things that YouTubey people do, and I'll see you in the next one. Whatever you do, don't throw away your celery pulp. I mean, you could, but why would you when there's so many wonderful things you can do with it? Like make, for instance, celery flour. See that? Celery flour. And I made this myself just from juicing a ton of celery. Here's a big bag of pulp that I've had in my refrigerator. I just took it out of the freezer. It's usually where I keep it until I'm about ready to start dehydrating it for this flour. But another good idea is to just not dehydrate it at all. You can make crackers in the dehydrator, or you can make crackers in the oven if you're not raw. So keep it raw, keep it real, keep it whatever you are. Just drink your celery juice. Ooh, it's like there's a hint of green in there. Can you? Yeah, it's pretty green. It tastes kind of like celery, if you can imagine what celery tastes like. It's not like overpowering celery. It's like celery went to the market and had a nice leisurely day and had a wind down in a bathtub and dissolved and got cold. Sounds a little brutal. It's once it goes into your belly, it's like, oh, thank you. I wanted that. And you didn't even know that you wanted it. Like, you're not gonna know how good you feel until you actually have your first full cup of celery juice. But, oh, and also they say that you should probably drink it within 15 minutes. So I'm probably gonna drink this in less than 2, to be honest, because I kind of just like gulp it all down. Well, that's all for celery juice making in this cute little ninja. So see you guys next time.
See you guys next time. Bye.